Come here, right here. Over here. Up on the bed. Come here. Good boy. You're such a fucking good boy. Oh, come on. Josh is gonna shit if he sees that. I'm so glad he just left. Jesus Christ. You wanted Elliot's food so bad and you don't even eat it. Typical man. Hello. Y'all, have you been watching that congressional hearing going on? Cause ooh-wee. I've been watching that surprise witness and doing a little bit of exercising. Josh and Elliot just left, so I figured I would continue what I was doing on live. I'm gonna let this thing charge a little bit. Hurry up and turn back on. Oh wait, I got my own towel. Yeah, buddy.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion effort. Disappointing, but not surprising.
Oh, because I think she's taking issue with the DEI stuff, which, like I said, I can understand why, that's kind of a little bit of a distraction, because it's too broad. The same way these people saying nobody should fear for their life. It's just too broad. We need more specifics, like maybe people that's shorter than the person they're protecting shouldn't be protecting them, but I could see both, aspects of both sides.
Hesitate to repeat their racist and sexist tropes, but in summary, Republicans have wrongfully and shamefully stated that hiring women and people of color hindered the response to the shooting. Now, this is part and parcel of Republican strategy to constantly attack necessary diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, to undermine the contributions that women, people of color, the disability community, and others make to this country each and every day. And it is disgraceful.
You gotta make it about you, don't ya? You gotta make it about you.
She just said, I'm not really that offended by these people saying the DEI thing that much, but I do want to just mark it's 1:44 p.m. and the ground just shook by where I am. I don't know why.
Republicans are ignoring solutions like gun safety reform and instead trotting out sexist.
Here's the thing though, Presley. What's her name, Ayana? I'm not disagreeing totally, but I haven't seen any reform proposed. All I've seen is y'all asking a stupid rhetorical question. The first guy tried it, couldn't even get it out, then they had to send it to all y'all's WhatsApp. I don't think it's unfair to say anyone's been ignoring any proposal because there hasn't been a proposal of the sort made at this meeting.
Can't say I'm surprised. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record reporting from CNN titled "Right-Wing Media Figures Blame Women in Secret Service and DEI."
Shut up, God! Why are you doing it all about you?
That is true. Some have done that. That is true. I saw it.
I mean, some have, but it's just like not that big a deal. They're of course going to find whatever they can to blame.
The hiring of liability for the Secret Service. Women have been an integral part of the agency since 1971 and are held to the same standards as their male counterparts. To use them as a scapegoat during a time of crisis is shameful and it is dangerously divisive. In fact, based on recent publicly available demographic data of the agency, the largest demographic groups among special agents are white and male. But to right-wing extremists, the truth doesn't matter.
If the demographic are mostly white males, then why were there so many women around Trump?
See, again, I think this is just not fair, and this is why there's never anything agreed upon, because she's doing the same thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene just did, in my opinion, and that's why I'm looking at them the same. because she's not actually saying anything that's really true. Like, some of the stuff she's saying is true,
I've got my
but then
feet,
whenever she gets down into needing to like be specific, she just can't be. And it's not true that people are blaming, you know, only women. It's the DEI thing is that people are saying that they're upset that people are getting chosen for jobs even though they're not the most qualified because there's like a gender quota. And there absolutely is gender quotas with certain areas like government contracting and stuff like that. Like, that's not a conspiracy. Like, I learned about that in law school. But I don't even think that the people that comment in the chat, if you're one of the people that's mad about the DEI of it all, let's say you one of those people, is it that you think no woman should be anywhere in the Secret Service at all, anywhere? Or is it that you think that the women should be as qualified? Maybe like that one in the Game of Thrones that's like 6'6" or something, you know what I mean? Or maybe like, whatever. Is it really
they should at least be taller than the person or as tall as the person they're guarding?
That y'all are more saying that people qualified should
Sidebar, this is that surprise witness on
that's
YouTube.
Not how she's characterizing it, which is how we're never going to get anywhere because people ain't
I like her
listening
opinion
to
better than just listening to it boringly.
Will only make the American
I'm passively
public
listening.
less
I'm not a commentary
and more
channel,
divided.
so I'm passively
And
listening.
every day, Director Cheatham, that you fail to give us answers, they are given more oxygen to make their baseless claims that women and people of color are responsible for tragic events. And that is dangerous too.
That's not what anybody said.
I mean, just to push a little back, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think what they're saying is the policy is what's responsible. I think all of us would agree that the women there threw their lives on the line for him. And they were heroic.
Except for the one who couldn't holster her guns.
But is that the same thing
scared.
as saying they're qualified to do the job as best as the best person could do it? I think the best person to do that job is about 7 feet tall, 400 pounds, in my opinion. Woman or man.
And I yield my remaining time to ranking member Raskin.
Thank you to the distinguished gentleman.
Right.
Thank you for those trenchant
Right.
insights.
If Megan Thee Stallion, it was a different dimension, she had a twin sister or something, I would be happy to have her on my security because I think she could be just as qualified as the next person. Yes, I do.
I wanted to make the point that you're making and several of other members were making to bring it into sharp relief.
Chrissy said no woman at all. Girl, oh no. See, I was giving y'all a little bit more good faith than that.
The very same day that Donald Trump narrowly escaped an assassination attempt, but an honored firefighter was gunned down and killed.
Yeah, you wanted him dead. Then
There was
you asked
another
him.
mass shooting that day, just several hours later in Birmingham, Alabama. 4 people killed and 10 wounded in a nightclub shooting. And you might think, oh, that's some kind of freakish coincidence. Not at all. We have more than one mass shooting in America. They're so commonplace now that they are barely reported in the national news. It's, of course, local news in Birmingham, Alabama, that 4 people were killed and 10 other people were shot and seriously wounded, being treated at the hospital. These things are a nightmare for the families of the victims who've been killed, for the families who have to take care of people who've been seriously injured and wounded. They are a major financial drain in a night.
Okay, BlackRock.
I am required to do so.
Okay. I will look into making that request because I would like to see your personal phone to see if you're communicating over encrypted messaging apps.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go back a little bit.
Opportunity to answer again. Did they share with you how many shell casings were on the roof?
Get her.
They have shared with me the
Did they share with you how many shell casings were on the roof?
Yes.
And okay, how many were there?
I would refer to the FBI for
How many were there?
and their information that they need to share in their investigation.
So they've shared the information with you. You just don't want to share
Tell
the
'em.
information with us.
Get 'em.
Correct?
We have concurrent investigations that are going on.
So they have shared this information with you. You answer to the question. You just refuse to answer the question from the member of Congress.
But she answers
who has
the news
subpoenaed
media.
you
She went on the media.
answer to that question?
She went on like ABC News and told them
Come here and testify
what she
before
felt
this
like.
oversight hearing.
Beautiful, then let's do that. Let's for once have your actions match your words. So you've been in communication with the FBI. You know the answers, and you refuse to tell us the answers. So I will ask you again. You know how many shell casings were on that roof. What is the answer to that question?
I think it's.
She won't.
What is the answer to that question?
I think it's pertinent to talk to you about the information that the Secret Service has, and that the Secret Service knows related.
I'm
to the
asking
event.
you an answer to the question. If you're supposed to be in charge, if the buck stops with you,
Yeah.
how come you can't share the answers? What
Yeah.
are you covering up? And what are you hiding, my friend?
I'm not covering anything.
Then why can't you answer a simple question?
I would leave it to the criminal investigation to answer questions.
Oh, maybe she's pleading the fifth.
When you talk to the FBI
Hmm.
and you ask them how many explosives, well, let me ask you, did you ask them how many explosives were on the roof? Did they answer that question? Or in the car, excuse me. Did they answer that question for you?
Yes.
Yes. So you know the answer to that question that my colleagues have asked you, but again, you refuse to give us the answers. You're playing this weapon game. Well, I submit to you,
Submit.
if you can't, and it's not a can't, it's a won't.
Yes,
It's not a
ma'am.
can't,
Yes.
It's not a I don't.
It might be a can't, but who made her can't?
It's a I choose not to answer the question.
Get her.
Yeah,
And let me
Elliot.
tell you, Ms. Cheeto,
Tell her.
if you're gonna lead, you need to lead.
Woo!
If you want to be in charge, then answer the question or step aside and have someone with the courage and the guts to answer to the American people the questions that they deserve answers to. And with that, I yield back.
What McLean said.
Over from Colorado.
Nothing
Thank you,
further.
Mr. Chairman. I'm going to continue down that vein. You have been here sitting today, Director Cheadle, definitively able to dismiss erroneous information and speculation. However, you are refusing to answer questions that we now know that you have the information for. You are saying that you are wanting to answer questions that the Secret Service has information to. Well, ma'am, you are the Secret Service. You are the director. You have said that you are the best for the job.
Yeah.
So, I'm
She
going
did.
to ask you some questions now knowing that you do have answers from the FBI, whom you have been passing the buck to this entire day.
Ask her why.
And, I'll start with something that, maybe
I hope she asks why. Who's stopping you from saying? Who told you that? Is there a rule you can't tell us while there's an investigation going on? Let me see it. Where's it written down?
Yeah, it does. It has to do with you personally. You said you spoke with President Trump after the assassination attempt.
Oh, I gotta
I
clean
wanna
this
know,
couch up.
did
Good
you
day.
apologize to him directly for nearly having President Trump killed?
Yes, I did.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you recognize that this was your failure. Now, since the assassination attempt, you are under oath, reminding you. Have you communicated with anyone at the White House on an encrypted messaging app like Signal?
Oh my God. Woo!
She must already have the answers.
Yes or no?
No, I have not.
Are you willing to surrender your personal phone for analysis?
If I am required to do so.
Okay.
If I'm required to do
I
so.
will look into making that request because I would like to see your personal phone to see if you're communicating over encrypted messaging apps. Have you ever?
I would assume if she is doing such a thing, she would not be doing it from her personal phone, and so she probably would be happy to turn over her personal phone. If I had to guess, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Turned down enhanced security request from Donald Trump's detail, his special agent in charge, Sean Curran. Have you ever turned that down?
No, I have not.
Not the
Heather,
encrypted chat.
Hi.
Has your
Y'all heard how she said that? I have not.
has the Secret Service? Maybe not you personally.
I believe, as I mentioned earlier, there are times when requests are made for
And you have
assets,
denied them. They have been denied.
and a denial doesn't.
Has the Trump
necessarily
campaign made requests for additional assets that have been denied?
Denial doesn't mean vulnerability.
Additional requests
So yes.
for security at Mar-a-Lago.
we have made a number of enhancements to.
You confirmed that there were bomb sniffing dogs that were provided. You failed to confirm if there were aerial security surveillance assets that were provided. So yes or no? Was that provided?
At the rally.
At the rally, yes ma'am.
We had Overwatch provided at the rally.
That's not what she
Confirmed that
asked.
The assassin was identified as suspicious 57 minutes prior to the shooting. Was the suspicious individual ever approached by an agent? Was any contact ever made with him?
Not to my knowledge.
Is that the standard protocol for someone who is identified as suspicious?
The protocol would be to locate the individual
And you said that he was located 2 to 5 times approximately?
No, I said that the information was passed potentially somewhere between 2 to 5.
He was never located by an agent?
To my knowledge, that individual was not located by an agent.
We have dozens of rally goers who have identified him and not one agent on the ground. There are many agents on the ground. Local law enforcement, Secret Service. No one was able to identify him and have sights on and see him.
What I'm saying is that the agents that were on the ground at the time, I have no knowledge that they were able to interview him or locate him.
Thank you. Was there a local law enforcement officer who approached the roof and saw the shooter and saw that he was present on the roof?
That is the information that has been shared with me.
Have you spoke to that local law enforcement officer?
No, I have not.
Are you going to?
It is part of a criminal investigation.
Wow.
The FBI is interviewing.
Well, okay, if the FBI is interviewing people, then why is it that she keeps saying that the Secret Service is also doing their own investigation? Like, is it the FBI or is it you? If the FBI is doing it, why don't you just sit there and just let the FBI do this hearing?
Were agents stationed on the water tower?
No,
Why?
that would not be something that would be included in a security plan.
What?
Was any contact ever made with him?
Not to my knowledge.
Is that the standard protocol for someone who is identified as suspicious?
Oh, man.
The protocol would be to locate the individual
And you said that he was located 2 to 5 times approximately?
No, I said that the information was passed potentially somewhere between 2 to 5.
He was never located by an agent?
To my knowledge, that individual was
Then
not
why did the
located
agent
by
have
an
him in a
agent.
scope and make a comment about him and take a photograph of him? The photograph that we have of him to the side with the long hair, and you see like that shape of his head, that was taken by an agent who was looking at him in
You know
the
what just
scope.
came to my mind?
They were looking at each other in the scope.
Blair White,
At one
another YouTuber, she did a video on Pride. She went to Pride, and she's transgender, so she's perfectly, like, obviously can go to Pride. And it was just like regular, like, you know, cops or something, like on duty. It might even been private security, and like they were following her around the whole time, like, we want to make sure you're not going to do anything, which, okay, fine, but how is it that the Pride Parade has better security than somebody running for president?
No one was able to identify him and have sights on and see him.
What I'm saying is that the agents that were on the ground at the time, I have no knowledge that they were
Oh, yeah,
able
no,
to
that was definitely him.
interview him or locate him.
Thank you. Was there a
How?
law enforcement officer
How are they unable to locate him? Weren't they inside the building he was on top of?
approached the group and saw the shooter and saw that he was present on the roof?
That is the information that has been shared with me.
Have you spoke to that local law enforcement officer?
No, I have not.
Are you going to?
It is part of a criminal investigation that the
Are you going to-
FBI is interviewing those individuals.
Were agents stationed on the water tower?
No,
Why?
that would not be something that would be included in a security plan.
Very interesting, because I went to Butler, Pennsylvania
That
the
doesn't make
very
any sense.
next day to that site. And I was unable to access the water tower because there was, I might have video of it, there was a police officer parked right under the water tower, such that if you would have walked up on it, he would have told you to go away. So it's very interesting to me that a day after this happened, that was part of the security protocol, but it wasn't perceived as any type of issue the day before. It's just interesting.
Has a man who is reported to have been present wearing a gray suit who allegedly requested a photo of the dead body of the assassin on top of the AGR roof been identified?
I don't have that information.
Is that something that you've heard of?
No,
No.
I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna write that down too.
ATF agents present at the rally
To attend or to work?
to work.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, was there people there
How long did the counter
just
sniper have
attending?
pricks in his
Were they
sights
planning on inciting a
before
riot at the
shooter
end of the
opened fire
shooting?
on President Trump?
I don't have that
Is
specific
that right?
timeline.
Will you be able to tell us if he communicated
I heard
with other
that someone
agents?
said that the
on
FBI,
what
that
he was
lady
seeing
behind
through
Trump
his
that was
sights?
holding the sign that took video, like was
Once I have
directly
that
behind him,
information, absolutely.
was an FBI
Because we
agent.
need to
I haven't
know
been
why
able to
he
confirm
waited
that though.
for multiple rounds to be fired at President Trump.
I almost
before the
gave this
threat
shirt to
was
a trans
neutralized. We
friend
need
of
to
mine.
know if he was given an order to
But
hold
I was like, I'll wear it
fire.
a few more times before
Now
I give it away.
it's you've excused the
they
roof
would
of
like it
being
much better than I would.
unmanned because of the slope of the roof. Do you continue to assert the slope of the roof as a credible reason
It's a good question.
position undefended?
First, I'll go back and correct that there was no order to hold fire.
Come on, like
Our
stretch out.
agents and officers have the
Don't do that to
ability
me.
to neutralize a threat at the time
So you
that
don't
they
know,
see it.
I'm sorry, you don't know the communication that was taking place or how long he had it in his sights because you haven't spoke to him, but you do know that there was no order to hold fire.
I can tell you the way that our personnel are trained. They are trained on the use of force scale that when they see a threat, they are authorized to neutralize that threat. They don't have to ask for permission.
You excuse the roof being unmanned because of the slope. Do you stand by that?
Well, I wonder,
The roof?
because that's a difference. There's a difference between having to ask for permission versus being told or ordered to do something, right? Like, think about it. Like, if you're a parent, right? If your kid comes and says, "Hey, mom, can I go to the dance Saturday?" They've asked for permission, and you can tell them no. Maybe they don't have to ask your permission if they can go to the dance, right? But if the kid comes to you, but if the kid never comes to you and you just say, you can't go to the dance. Well, maybe he could have before, maybe he could have asked you before, but now you just told him he can't go. That's what I feel like could be possibly going on here. I don't know. I'm just saying, because this woman, she minces words. She does choose them specifically and carefully, as we've seen over the last 4 hours.
Has this
And
been 4
it's not the
fucking
same.
hours?
It's not the same thing to ask for permission versus being ordered to stand down. Those are different things. And I am sure somebody can order them to stand down. Now, did somebody order him to stand down or them to stand down that day? I don't know. And I'm not suggesting that they did.
It's not covered with an individual on it because there was overwatch provided.
Apparently not. No, there was no overwatch provided. This is very evident. President Trump was
Yeah, right?
died. There was no oversight provided. I find this rather maddening, especially now knowing that you do have answers from the FBI, who you have been passing the buck to this entire hearing, not in
That is true. I got to agree with Lauren on this one.
a congressional hearing, members of Congress, while you are under oath and under a subpoena. I find it maddening that the director, that our country has come centimeters away from oblivion under your watch. You have answers. You are refusing to give those to us, directing us to the FBI. And this entire thing is a waste of time. You are responsible for the loss of a life and the shooting that took place on President Trump. You do need to resign. This is bipartisan. You need to be fired. You do not need to hold this position. You are not the best for this job. I am over my time, but I cannot tolerate your watch any longer, and I'm going to continue to call daily for you to be removed from your position, ma'am.
Chair recognizes Mr. Fry from South Carolina.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right,
Chairman.
let's go.
Director Cheadle, how long have you been with the Secret Service? 29 years, right?
That's correct.
And how long have you been director of the Secret Service?
3
Just
years.
under 2 years.
Ha! I
During
knew
your
it.
tenure as director under the
Tried to
Secret
think of when did
Service,
it start
I
to
know
get
we're
really,
here today to talk
really
about the
stupid.
assassination attempt on President Trump, but how many other security lapses have occurred with protectees under your watch?
Good question.
I don't have a specific number, but there have been some lapses.
There have been other lapses. Was one of them Jake Sullivan?
Yes, sir.
What happened there?
There was an individual who was able to access Mr. Sullivan's residence.
His residence? A protectee, somebody was able to break into his house. And what happened? Did anyone get fired because of that?
No.
There were individuals who have been reassigned.
Reassigned, meaning they just went to guard someone else.
What other incidents have occurred other than Jake Sullivan? Was there an issue with the Secret Service agent and Vice President Harris?
I would not call that a security incident.
Well, it seems to me, I mean, you have security lapses with President Trump. You have security lapses with Jake Sullivan. You have issues with your personnel related to Vice President Kamala Harris. There seems to be a repeated theme here. Would you not agree with that?
I think that we are talking about separate categories.
Put a chick in it and make it gay.
Well, I would disagree with that. I think there's a repeated theme when you've got protectees and you're not.
Put a chick in it and make it gay.
Let me ask you something else. Does the Secret Service routinely record communications between its detail?
Radio communications?
Any communication?
I don't know what he asked because it kind of glitched.
Email communications are captured as well as text messages. And then depending on the detail, radio communications are recorded.
Does the Secret Service have recorded communications from the July 13th event?
We do not have radio communications from that day.
But you have text messages?
We do have emails and text.
Emails, okay, great. Does the head of the Trump detail or someone else embedded in this detail have command decision-making authority, or do they need to seek authorization from someone outside that detail?
The head of the detail has the decision-making authority for things that are necessary for that detail.
Is that standard for protection details?
Yes, it is.
Let me ask you something. During campaign events, is it common for the Secret Service to utilize other agencies?
Yes, it is.
What other agencies would be providing assistance to?
There are a number of other agencies that provide assistance to the Secret Service during campaigns. We utilize personnel from the Department of Homeland Security. We utilize personnel from the Department of Defense, and we utilize local law enforcement partners.
Are you on the same radios? Do you provide the radios to all the assets that are taking part in protection of an event?
We provide radios to the personnel from the Department of Homeland Security that are assisting us.
So,
local law enforcement is working on their.
I'm literally not actually in any way seriously trying to lift weights. I am just trying to do the things I know I need to do in order to strengthen this one specific part of my body and also my ass. And then I'm going to, once I start to like get some just like brain muscle connection back here, then I'll start to worry about that, and I just can't deal with like trying to put any kind of regimen on myself. I'm just gonna do what feels good when I feel like it, and I'm gonna do it until it doesn't feel good or I feel like I need to stop. And then I'll worry about being serious about it later. But like, I will maybe get serious about it. I don't know. I'm a Pisces. I might just wake up tomorrow completely forgetting that I ever worked out and then not do it for a month or two.
Did the sniper team take a photo of Mr. Crooks?
Yeah, they did.
The local team did, yes.
So it was a local team and not a Secret Service.
If you're having trouble stabilizing yourself in squats, this thing is so awesome. It helps you keep your knees over toes.
Again, it's an active ongoing
So you use
investigation.
the little stretcher thing between you, and then it like forces you to activate your glutes, and it forces you to keep your ass in that right spot, so you're not tucking it under when you go down and do the butt wink or whatever. So your squat is literally, it forces you to stabilize your legs, and then you have to squeeze tight when you come up because you got fucking elastic at your feet.
Yeah. I want to know.
And it helps your heels.
I want to know. I don't even need the minute. I need to know what the thing was that finally was like, yes, you're threat. Was it that he had to pull the TRIGTER? Thank you.
This thing that I've been doing, I saw this in this video
Yes.
a couple days ago. With a really lightweight. This is 2.5 pounds.
To the best of my knowledge,
So I've been really struggling with this muscle here and this muscle here. So you can see on either side, I've got muscles here. I've got muscles here. But on this side I don't. It's like totally different sides. So I really have to like focus here and focus here. My shoulder is also
before the shots were fired.
turning forward like this, where the other one doesn't. It stays in its place because the muscles are correct.
It was just
But this one is like, fucked up.
Yeah, but my question is,
It ain't
when
good.
did it become, when did it
doing-
transform from suspicion
Right.
to threat?
Because she has spent so much time. It's a good question. She spent so much time nitpicking about how he wasn't a threat. So actually, good question. When did he become a threat? When? Why was he a threat? She's still not
This
going
is
to
so
answer.
hard to do with weak muscles. It literally is 2.5 pounds, and I was like,
When did that happen?
just in this area right here. This is where like the weakness is really the
Before
worst.
the gunfire started.
Seconds.
And all my other muscles start to fire and try to
We got to
compensate.
answer today. Listen, I'm going to
I'm
wrap
gonna
up
have to
here,
like literally
Mr.
like try
Chairman.
to
But
fucking
here's the
focus on
frustration that people
the
have.
correct muscles.
The buck stops with you.
That's the most damning thing, in my opinion, that she has said in almost 4.5 hours. Is that they didn't decide he was a threat until seconds before he pulled that trigger. And yet we know through video evidence, we the people have seen, he was up on that roof for at least 2 minutes. Could have been 10, could have been 40, I don't know. But at least 2, because we saw. And it was minutes he was up on that roof with a gun. A rifle, a big scary assault rifle, even. Before they identified it as a threat. That is damning.
Said that yourself. But the problem in Washington, D.C. is the only town in America that you can be so bad at your job that you actually get a promotion and get fired.
Woo!
You have not been able to answer the number of agents, whether or not requests were denied,
That was funny.
whether or not law enforcement were able to engage before the shooting with the assassin, how he got on the roof, how before got on the roof. You can't tell us how many shots he fired, whether the casings were recovered. You can't tell us anything about his cell phone. You can't tell us whether the
Oh my
you can't
God.
tell us,
Actually.
given the intelligence that was
The wrong-
you can't tell us whether the car had a bomb. You can't even tell us his motives. And the American people are incredibly distrustful because it has taken 9 days to even get a scintilla of evidence out of you. Maybe if I was CNN or ABC or NBC, I would have gotten much more thorough, accurate information. But we have not received that in a subpoenaed hearing of this Congress. That is why the American people are frustrated. And I echo the bipartisan calls on this committee and all across this country that you should resign, or maybe when the president wakes up from his nap, he can fire you.
Chair now recognizes Ms. Luna from Florida.
Director Cheadle, can you please give me the names of the individuals who are in charge of your Connaught rally?
I'm not going to release names.
Can you give me the title?
So no.
And how many individuals?
Who's she?
We have a
Luna.
full advance team that was
She's pretty.
responsible for advancing
How many
the
people are
site.
the final approval authority?
There are a number of people
Can you give
that
me a
are
number?
engaged in approving
Can you
the
give me
plan.
a number?
No, I do not have
Okay.
a firm number.
Can you just confirm whether or not, I understand this is an open investigation, but in order to dispel conspiracy theories, have you guys been able to subpoena the shooter's discipline? To your knowledge.
I believe that the FBI is working on this.
Okay. Is it factual to say that you have not ruled out that the shooter was working with other people or persons?
Again, the FBI is conducting the criminal investigation into
Can
the
you,
shooter.
at least in an effort to dispel conspiracy theories, can you confirm or deny that?
At this time, we do not have that there were any other people engaged.
So you believe he's acting alone?
I do.
Have you been made aware of multiple eyewitness reporting that there was a second shooter on the water tower?
I do not have any information.
second
related
shooter on the
to
water
any second
tower.
shooter.
Okay, the reason
Sound
I
familiar?
asked that is
Oh, I
because
might be too old
according
for you
to
guys.
testimony from multiple witnesses, they did report that. And again, to my understanding, there were over 40 sniper teams that were briefed by the Butler ESU. And I want to make sure that people are aware, if you're saying that there's not another shooter, that we are able to clear that information, because from this whole entire briefing, it doesn't seem like much information has been able to get out to the American people. So I'm trying to dispel rumors, as I'm sure you understand. Was it true that Secret Service was present at the Butler ESU briefing?
There was a briefing between the counter sniper teams
Was
that were working
Secret
on the
Service
ground.
present?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, I want to read your report from people that seem to be throwing you under the bus and stated that they were in attendance and that Secret Service was not in attendance at the security briefing, according to individuals with knowledge, to also include that the AGR building where the shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks was located was actually part of their
She bringing the receipts.
security perimeter for that. So there was not Secret Service present. It seems as though that when you were asked earlier from Rep. Kristen Worthy about what
Somebody said, she said his name wrong. Somebody said there's footage of someone on a water tower. I missed that.
Secret Service was aware of a threat, you had said no, they were unaware of a threat. And yet, according to communications, again, from law enforcement that were in some of these group chats, they actually have reported that Secret Service was made aware of a threat at around 5:59 p.m. as a part of the command, including Secret Service aware messages.
Yeah, but it's that threat.
Information about the suspect's location. Can you please tell me if you have knowledge of that at all?
Again, I think we're conflating the difference between the term threat and suspicious.
We.
You guys did have knowledge at 5:59.
These people will always say we. We are conflating. She didn't say you. She didn't say y'all. It's we. It's we. Who's we? Because we're not in the same club, me and you, ma'am. Kimberly.
Of a suspicious individual.
Okay. Chairman, in my opinion, according to some of the testimony today, I feel that you have perjured yourself in some instances, and I'm going to ask for a full review of the transcripts by staff, and if you find that to be the case, I do ask that you bring perjury charges against the director. I will say this, it is very frustrating, and I've talked to my colleagues, and we've said it to your face, that you have been up here basically stonewalling our ability to get the answers to the American people.
Get her.
And what I will also say is that every single member of Congress does not feel safe with you in charge. You have heard that, and we are all sitting ducks with you in directing the Secret Service currently.
Yeah, just letting everybody know that.
It sends a message to our adversaries.
You just told everybody who might want to kill a fucking
and we are one of the strongest
anybody.
countries
It's
in
just
the
like
world,
this
so
is a
you
call
essentially
to
made us a
arms.
less safe country because of it. As a result of that, I'm asking you to formally step down as chair of my same opinions as my Democrat colleagues. And I also think that your efforts to bring forward a full investigation report in 60 days is unacceptable. And as a result of that, I'm going to do everything in my legislative toolkit to ensure that that happens sooner rather than later. And I'm sure that you know that we brought a vote on inherent contempt against Garland for essentially blocking a congressional investigation, and I don't think that you should be any different. So I will say that I am just completely disgusted by your performance today, and I understand that you're probably in a position where you're being told not to testify, which is why we had to subpoena you. I think that goes back to Garland, and that is part of the flushing that we need to get out of Washington, and I would be happy to assist in that process. Chairman, I yield the rest of my time.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Langworthy from New York.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate you bringing this hearing forward with subpoena. Director, yesterday I made the decision to get my car and drive to Butler, Pennsylvania in preparation for this moment.
Cool.
And asking you questions about the events of the assassination attempt on President Trump's life. I've done several presidential events in prior in my career, and I wanted to see this site with my own two eyes because I don't believe the video footage tells the whole story or looking at things on a diagram. And I was absolutely appalled when I went to the site, when I saw the fact that I could have stood on the roof of that.
It's scary. It's close. It's right there. It's right there. I mean, they say it's on a different property, but it isn't. I mean, when you're standing there, yeah, maybe there's a dividing line between these two, but it's very close. It's right there.
And the fact that that was not included in the perimeter.
We do a lot of generator starting, so.
The duty of the U.S. Secret Service.
Figure.
I mean, there are very few rooftops that need to be secured, and the fact that Secret Service is they were putting a site plan in place.
No, I bought these pants from a girl, but trust me, you do not want to try to buy pants from this girl. She will take your money. You will never get your pants.
Their duties. You had one job, and that's to protect the future president of the United States, or to protect all of the other protectees. And President Trump is only here today by God's grace, because he had just something in him that made him turn his head just like that, or we would be in a national period of mourning right now. And You have done nothing here today. I've rewritten these questions like 4 times during your hearing, and you haven't answered a damn one of them. You haven't given any information. You have hidden behind this FBI investigation, and I think you should be ashamed of yourself, because you have brought more shame to your agency than I think that the assassination attempt has at this point. This is literally the worst performance I have ever seen in front of a congressional hearing.
Not me.
You have offered no reason for this committee, this body, or the American people to trust you or the Secret Service today. And you should resign. You have said that you've put new security measures in place after the assassination attempt. Can you tell us what those are? Because the American people want to know that you're taking real corrective measures. But today you've pointed to an investigation. Investigation or not, you still have a job to do with a zero-fail mission. But so far, there's been absolutely no accountability, and you've admitted that here today. Not one person's been suspended. Not one person's been put on a desk. Meanwhile, we've got the most contentious of elections in our nation's history. And protectees are in
Y'all,
because of incompetent leaders.
I live long enough to now see that every election we go through is the most contentious one in history. Like, it kind of also lost its sauce.
Not the agents. The agents piled on President Trump to protect his life. Those are heroes. But the administrators running your agency, they're not right now. They're not doing their jobs.
I would agree.
You certainly aren't doing. The most appalling part of Saturday's events is the countless opportunities that Secret Service had to stop Crooks before he even got on the roof. At 3 o'clock, Crooks raised suspicion of entering a rally with a rangefinder. At 5:45, a copy of the Beaver County Emergency Services Unit saw Crooks eyeballing the roof at the AGR International Building. And then at 5:55, Secret Service was warned of a suspicious person and identifies Crooks as a threat. This was all before shots were fired 15 minutes later. Director, yes or no, did local law enforcement alert the Secret Service about Crooks' presence at the rally?
Yes, they did.
The shooter came to attention of law enforcement almost an hour from put on stage. Law enforcement alerted the Secret Service of the shooter. Over and over, you've said there's a difference between a suspicious individual and a threatening individual. Can you explain what the shooter
No, Pixie. I got these pants secondhand from a girl who bought the pants from her years ago when she was like actually like doing her job.
Identified him as suspicious
So
to the
I didn't buy them
individuals
directly from her.
Originally clarified him that way.
But she's been like
For
banned
the
from
Secret
all of
Service for an
the
individual
organic
to be
threads
determined
groups
to be
on
a threat,
Facebook because
that individual
she
would have to be seen
scams people out of their
with a
money.
weapon
Hundreds of dollars.
or
Like these pants would have been like
capable of doing some sort
$400
of
brand
harm
new.
to our protectees.
I mean, Director, an individual walking into a rally with a rangefinder, scoping out an unprotected rooftop, and he reportedly flew a drone over hours before. It sounds like a lot more than suspicious, especially at a presidential rally. Your operational lapses, your resource management, and poor judgment nearly resulted in the assassination of President Trump. I mean, the dereliction of duty here is just appalling. The fact that you haven't visited Butler, it is just maddening to me.
That's crazy.
You're not taking this job seriously. Many people here have called for your resignation. I've introduced a resolution here into this body.
What is it?
We're going to vote this week, calling on the president to fire you, ma'am. You have not done your job. You have put 2 black eyes on you.
Nice. So there's going to be...
Maybe it was the fact that
maybe
they were shouting, he has a gun, he has a gun. Somebody should have like replied to that, right? You think?
Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Dude, I literally, like, my body is changing. Like, there is muscle here
Judge Cheadle,
that I've never
I
had
just wanna
before. Ever.
Can I get an idea of what you
Look at
can
that. There's
answer,
actually, like,
because
there's
outside
a
of what the FBI is
muscle
responsible
there.
for, you have full responsibility.
I have never
for the
in my
Department
life.
of Secret Service.
These
So
pants are like
the
giving
question
everyone
is,
look like they
what is
have an
the
ass
mission?
because of the cut.
What is your who did
Because it
defines
goes
the
low
mission?
in the back like this.
Our
It gives
mission
the
as Secret
illusion of an
Service
ass.
is to
But
protect
don't be
the
fooled.
president, vice president,
Flat as a
their
board.
immediate families, presidential candidates, the former presidents, and
why
those
I'm
by
doing
executive
this.
order. And we also have an
I'm so
investigative mission.
desperately trying
And
to
those are well defined.
get some butt muscles
Everyone within the
and
agency
some
understands
arm
the
muscles.
mission.
My arms
Yes,
are
they
so
do.
small. And
What
like,
about protocols
they're
and
not as
standards?
strong as
Who
they need to
defines
be.
the protocols and standards?
Yeah.
We have a number
So
of protocols.
they look like they're
and
strong,
policies
but
in
they
place
aren't really.
for the various
Like, I can't even do a
missions that we
pull-up.
have.
So would it be safe to say that you failed the mission, the ultimate mission?
I have stated repeatedly here today that there was a failure.
No, you
What about
haven't. You had to
specific
be
failures
coaxed
within
into
the
that.
protocols and
Also,
and
another
guidelines.
You know what?
Agency.
another negative about these pants is that the crotch totally has a giant hole in it, and the fabric that she used the worst fabric right here in this area. Like, she used like this kind of stretchy fabric and stuff, and it's just like absolutely demolished in the middle because
This is
the
a good point.
tight on
Hold
certain-
on. This is a good point.
There's like no reinforcement.
Is firing
and she
her
only
gonna
used
fix
one
the problem?
row of
Because
stitches.
even
She
I've
did not
gotten to
double
the point
stitch
where it's
it.
like, fire her,
Or
fire her.
overlock
She
it.
should resign. Sure, but the only
It's
thing
the
that
crotch
really
of pants.
does
You're supposed
is
to
addresses
overlock,
what already
double hem.
happened.
Something.
If another person was in this position,
Okay,
ask
like,
yourself
oh,
this in
let's
your
put
heart and
some
soul.
kind of fucking
If any
liner
other
in
person
there.
was in her job, would there have been a different outcome? Ask yourself that. I don't know the answer. I'm just saying ask yourself.
That is being conducted internally as well as the external investigation.
You said earlier in the hearing that there was either a communication, there's errors in communication or in operations.
Oh, that feels like really unbalanced. Apparently, I don't know.
Just gonna
It's
go
an
forward.
affordable agency. Things are made in writing.
I understand what
Right.
you're saying. I don't have those requests in front of me here to.
I'm not asking if you have them in front of you. Are you aware that they were made?
As I said earlier, there are times when requests are made, and depending on the availability of assets, or if there is a way that
So there were times when they were denied.
if there is a way that vulnerability can be mitigated in a different way, then that is why
So there are times when they were denied for a variety of reasons.
That is why the Secret Service has a multi-layered and multifaceted security plan so that we can pivot if
So
we need to.
in the wake, in the immediate 48 hours of an assassination attempt on a president, could be the next leader of the free world, almost had his head blown off. Your boss says that's irresponsible and false.
The crazy-
And you
The
attack
crazy thing about
him.
this
So
to
did
me
he just make that on his own,
is that it was live. Like, let's say that he had hit the target as intended. We would have all been seeing that live. I mean, I wouldn't have been seeing it live. I wasn't watching it live. But, like,
Or did you tell him?
We were speaking about the requests made at the rally.
Staff, can we show the next slide, please? Then we have your spokesman. Did you sign off on this statement? That there's an assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources and those were rebuffed. This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective resources and technology and capability. They increased campaign travel tempo. But next slide, please. Next slide, please, staff. We have the Washington Post article that then says we now have senior Secret Service officials saying there were at times when it was denied. So which is it?
Again, there have been a number of conversations going on here.
Did you sign off on that spokesman's statement?
The spokesman's statement, I believe, was related to requests that were made.
Did you sign off on it?
For the requests that were made at the rally.
Did
Yes.
you sign off on the statement before it went out? I sign off on my press spokesman's statement before they go out. I would hope you would in the wake of the assassination attempt.
Yes.
You did. Categorically false that any requests were made. You signed off on it. Thank you for that.
admission.
Clarity.
Perjury!
Madam Director, how many press conferences have you held since the assassination attempt?
We have put
None.
Press
How many press conferences have you
None.
gone to the mic, taken questions from the public, from the media? How many?
I have not held it.
Or is it this one?
How many has Secretary Mayorkas held?
I don't-
0. How many has the FBI held?
I thought Mayorkas got fired.
0. How many has the
I thought he
Department
got
of Justice held?
voted out.
I know you know the answer.
I believe there was a press conference in Butler after the incident occurred.
By local law enforcement. Not by you and not by the Department of Homeland Security. So this is how this information flies. I mean, in the darkness, in the absence of information.
Damn.
Now we have
Core
9
is
days
weak,
later before
and my
Congressional
arms are
committee,
weak,
we all
and my
represent
ass
almost
is
1 million
weak.
people.
And
Damn.
You still
So
don't have
I need to
answers.
work
Are
on
you?
that, and I know that if I actually get some muscle
Strike
swinging,
what, 5'7"?
that
I
I
mean, he
might
just
actually
gathered
be
her
like-
ass.
Heard that national news anchors are saying
You know?
this was a hoax.
and I want to do that. I've always wanted to have a bodybuilder type ass and legs. Since when I got pregnant with Elliot, listen to this, this is crazy. When I got pregnant with Elliot, that's what I was in the middle of doing, was trying to get that bodybuilder. I was going to the gym like every day. I was at like the peak of my game, and I was at working that cleaning business 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, or I would do like the dog grooming stuff on the weekends instead of my house cleaning stuff. I was literally go, 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 go. I was like, in shape, looking good. I'd lost like 25 pounds and then gained like 15 more in muscle. I was doing a lot of cardio though. Wasn't really weightlifting as much as I wanted to. I was just getting started on weightlifting and learning about it. So I've spent literally 10 years now following content creators that I have watched evolve, and I have been like thinking to myself like, dang dude, if I had just kept up at it, I would be so far right now. So I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna just try to like keep up with it. And I've been really depressed lately. So what I could do is I could just piss my life away, fuck it, throw caution to the wind. I could start drinking, I could start doing drugs, I could start looking for men to fuck around with, I could do all these things. Or I could literally not, and I could just like work out, which will give me some dopamine, and when I see the changes in my body, it will amp me up, and I will get like excited to keep going. And I will be setting a good example for my son. And I will feel more confident and more capable. I do have some like illness, chronic illness, I guess you would call it, but like I don't ever think about that, literally ever. The only time I think about it is if something like happens that I'm like forced to like deal with it. But like I choose not to claim that shit. I'm not gonna sit and talk about like, oh my god, I'm like so ill, I'm disabled, I can't work, I can't do this. No, I'm just gonna like, I'm physically able to do stuff, so I'm gonna try. You know, like, why not? And I'm just like gonna refuse to claim it. I'm gonna deny that reality, and you know, still acknowledge that like I might need some medications here and there, and whatever. I really want to do at some point. I've always wanted to do kickboxing, but I don't think I'll do it because I don't like to hit or kick things. It hurts.
Rampant online that there were multiple shooters?
Yes.
Are you aware that because the shooter had overseas encrypted platforms in Belgium and New Zealand and Germany, that a lot of people are speculating there could have been foreign involvement?
Wow. No.
Are you aware of that?
Uh-uh.
Have you done anything to dispute any of these notions today?
No.
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 You haven't?
No.
Matter of fact, I would fire you. Regardless of the failure, I would fire you just how you've handled it since. You should have been the first to the mics to say, America, world, I want to assure you we're going to get to the bottom of this.
It's crazy. Every time I feel literally like numbness.
Our agency
and
clearly had major
like
gaps
right
here, and I want to personally take responsibility
a little bit
and
right here as
accountability.
well.
You should have been the first.
I'm gonna put my hands
standing alongside Secretary
like
Mayorkas.
all the places that
and
hurt
I would even go so far as to say have daily press conferences.
That kind of stuff.
Updating everyone on what we know. But you haven't had any of that.
Feeling come back.
What are you hiding behind?
I am not hiding.
Because you're making the situation worse. I think you've heard that
really
on a bipartisan basis here.
She's
You
the
are making
martyr.
this situation
not the martyr,
far
but
worse
she's gonna be the fucking
in the
patsy
absence of information.
for the deep state.
Let's move on.
She's totally
This is
answering
truly
someone. She's not the
astounding.
director.
I want to
She
be
has a
clear
director.
because you keep dodging
She's
the
the
issue.
face of it.
Has President Trump's
Just like
permanent
Biden.
protective detail requested additional assets over the last few years? He is clearly not your average former president. He's not Jimmy Carter in an old folks home. He's not President Bush painting out in his barn. He has multiple residences, a lot of rallies. He's very publicly engaged, and he has a foreign threat in addition to domestic threats. Have they requested additional resources?
That's the last question, but please feel free to.
Thank you, Director.
We have continued, as I stated earlier, to increase over the past year the assets that are at the former president's residence and supplied to his detail.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just ask for one more indulgence. It is clear you have not been to Butler, Pennsylvania. Leaders lead and should be on the ground. You have not been there.
Poor left
Instead,
arm.
you went to the RNC. Right. You you weren't originally even going to go there. Where were you originally scheduled to go besides the RNC at National Special Security Event?
I was always scheduled to go to
Mr. Chairman, I would like to enter into the record.
Yes.
Oh,
Scheduled to go to
evidence.
Aspen. Hobnobbing around with, I don't know what liberal elites go to Aspen. That was where you were originally scheduled to go.
Not the liberal elite.
I was scheduled to go to the RNC. I was going to leave the RNC for 24 hours and return back to the RNC.
I hope, as your predecessor, Julie Pearson, with a security incident on the White House under the Obama administration and Reagan's Secret Service detail lead, I would hope you would have the dignity for the state and the agents of the service to resign.
Doing something expired.
Thank you.
I'd like to enter a few things into the record. First of all, the remaining articles that Mr. Biggs was wanting to enter into the record without objection, so ordered. Next, I have a written statement from Representative Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania. His district includes Butler, and he has a written statement that we'd like to enter into the record without objection, so ordered. A bipartisan 114th Congressional report titled United States Secret Service, an Agency in Crisis. This was prepared by former Oversight Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz and former Ranking Member Elijah Cummings. And lastly, the issue subpoenaed compelling Director Cheadle. It's at today's hearing without objection, so ordered. That concludes our question segment. I want to thank the Director for your testimony today. I now yield to the Ranking Member for closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and Director Cheadle. I also want to thank you for your patience over the course of what must have been a very long and trying hearing for you. It has been an unusually encouraging hearing and an unusually depressing hearing. And what's encouraging, Mr. Chairman, is that we came together to issue a strong statement deploring and categorically denouncing political violence in America. And I also didn't see any daylight.
You have your bandana on today.
Members of the two parties today hearing in terms of our bafflement and outrage about the shocking operational failures that led to disaster and near catastrophe on July 13th, 2024. What is depressing is the extraordinary communications gap between the Director of the Secret Service and Congress. And I don't want to add to the Director's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
Did he just treat her like a child?
Chairman in calling for the resignation of the Director, just because I think that this relationship is irretrievable at this point, and I think that the Director has lost the confidence of Congress.
Yeah, aren't they all being like surveilled by her too? Hello, sorry, it's gonna feel like I'm from here. I've been like working my ass off.
But what I will say, Mr. Chairman, is that
what you got?
I took this hearing to be about.
I didn't even think about giving you anything. I just completely forgot.
I see. You don't love me. Dog leg shoe. Elliot, your dad can't see your shoe, baby.
Effectively,
I only went in there to get these
a gunman
glasses tightened because his arm was about to fall off, and I was like, man, I want a soft taco because I'm hungry. And I don't even want it anymore. We sat there and waited for like 15 minutes.
We got the packet. You got the bag.
And you got a toy.
Toys. Let's open it right now.
Oh man, I wish I had a
Yeah, I know. I was trying to say I need to go to the store. So text me when you get there.
What's going on here?
Well, no, I was only going to get that
eggs. I know.
You were going to go with Philly.
Yeah, I'll still go.
And one of the biggest frustrations that many of us have, especially on this side of the aisle, is that there's never accountability in this administration.
So they were $5.
When you look at the debacles,
there's really never any in any
all right, well then I'll
administration,
just
to
get
be
the milk
fair.
and like some other stuff.
July 13th, I mean, it would be hard to meet the withdrawal in Afghanistan.
Just really
The
need
debacle
eggs
there,
bad.
and no one was held accountable. To this day, no one has been held accountable for that. But here we have
Yeah, thank you.
clearly
Look.
video showing
This car?
people
Look.
notifying the police, and the police are blaming the Secret Service. The Secret Service are blaming the police. Homeland Security is blaming everybody.
Look,
But
Mom.
at the end of the day,
This shows you how an engine
after
works.
this hearing, and after our request for information, we don't have
Why don't you get your
any answers.
Wait, baby.
And we don't have that confidence that you
Go eat,
can
baby.
lead the
It's
Secret
really
Service
cool. We'll
to
look at them all when
restore
you're not
I don't know where the
done.
bag of food is, that's all I'm asking.
Right.
And again, I
It's in this
commend
chair, Dad.
the ranking member for joining with me in the letter
How do I make this
asking your
stop?
resignation. And we certainly hope that you will take that to heart.
I think she will.
Without
I
objection,
think she's gonna resign.
5
Oh, yeah.
legislative days within
Oh,
which
yeah, I
to
think she's
submit
gonna
materials
resign,
and additional written question for the witness, which will be forwarded to the witness. If there is no further business, without objection, the committee stands adjourned.
What happened?
One soft taco. What the fuck is this? What is it?
What's it say?
Well,
I thought this was back up, but look, it's not. Look, oh, taxi. And look, rear opening door.
Josh, why would the laptop be cycling a rainbow-looking circle?
Why would what?
The laptop be making a rainbow circle that spins?
You mean a lollipop, basically?
Well, I was just loading up the YouTube studio. Hold on, move the camera.
Loading, I guess.
Yeah, but it just turned the computer on and it's just doing this.
Alright, let me look at it.
It died and then I turned it on and then it's just doing this. The icon is right next to the dollars. See it spinning?
it's loading something.
Oh.
Loading something.
I don't know why it's doing anything. It's been doing it for like 5 minutes now.
Look, Mom.
Okay, so
PT
Let's go
Cruiser.
eat. Come on.
Wait, I want you to see all the cards first. I got this thing which I have.
Okay.
And ready? Ready, Mom? Look,
I'm gonna
this
go see
swap
what.
band.
Come here, bring the bag in here. That's what I'm saying.
Almost just fell on the floor too.
Let me see. What's it say?
That's the bag I wanted yesterday.
Look at God was looking out for me. Cheesy rice and bean or a double beef burrito. It says no sauces on the
I
label.
know they asked me and I said yes, I'll take 2 medium.
They give you the wrong order then.
Let's order 16. It's quicker soup there.
There's a beef and bean burrito. Cheesy bean and rice maybe?
Look, Mom.
Or a cheesy double beef, I don't know.
Feel this. What scale is this? London
160 or 170?
160.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't 160 or 70.
Show
One,
them.
the
Show
six.
them.
Hold on, let me show you. This is 64th scale.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? This is 62.
I love how God was looking out for me.
This is 62 scale. It's bigger. So 170 scale is like microscopic. And look at this.
Which we were being looked out for
This
while
is
we were
metal.
driving again today.
What happened?
Just getting cut off like fucking correct 4 times today. 3 times.
It's Eugene, that's not like Eugene.
Hold on, let me tell my mom. Ready? My dad forgot we were going to Goodwill to get this packet. And then the guy in front of us all of a sudden made a turn.
In the turn lane going, and he comes out of the straight line, just bam, right in front of me. I had to absolutely
And he had a
over.
trailer.
Gosh, because that is what driving is like now in the world. Seriously.
I mean, it's hazardous.
It is,
last 2
yes.
days. What about last week? It wasn't like this. What about the week before? It wasn't like this. And it's been the last 2 days. I have to go out and drive. I get cut off like absolutely crazy. But
It's something that's always going to happen. It's been happening for 20 years. You have to have, that was the thing, remember? You get caught up in traffic, they get your McDonald's order wrong. You know, you wake up, you stub your toe. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and then they get your McDonald's breakfast order wrong. And then you're thrown off for the whole day, remember? It happens. Just because it affects you, because you can't see. I understand why you get more frustrated. Your reaction time is not as fast.
no, it's just language because I'm the guy at Camp Studio. I'm the one
I
that
know, but
looks
it-
out for everybody else.
Yeah, I know, but I promise it literally happens to everybody. It's just a non-issue to everybody else because their reaction times are a bit
Mom, grab
faster.
the camera and bring it over
Oh,
here.
my
So it feels much more
My
sudden to
reaction
you.
time was perfect. No, it's fine. It's just why do people do it? The one truck that pulled out in front of us, nobody behind us, nobody. He pulled out in front of us, made me have to slow down, and then he slowed down to make a right-hand turn immediately. So he literally pulled out to stop and turn. I'm like, dude, come on.
I know, Josh. I know.
There's nobody behind me, not a single car. But rather than wait for
Trust me, I know this. That's why I say I don't like driving all the way here.
Waiting for 2 seconds, he had to
It gives
stop.
me anxiety driving now. I literally don't like driving at all anymore because of that fact.
You know,
Grab the phone. I want them to see all these cars. Whoa, this has weird suspension.
It's still cycling. Why is it doing that? Where's your food, big doll?
Oh, I'm trying to show.
Did all he get is his fries?
All I want.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
Well, how do you try some of that burrito? It's so good.
I don't want it.
Yeah, try that.
Wait, no.
Stop saying no.
Here, try that a bit.
Oh.
It's got the things you like inside of it. Literally everything in here is something you like. It's beans, it's rice, and it's cheese. Try bite.
That's for my dad.
Try bite. No, it's not. Guess what, guys? You're never gonna believe. Elliot, after you finish chewing your food, I want you to look at me and smile. Get ready? You ready? He lost his tooth this morning.
Now I really look like a nerd.
Let's go.
Wait,
Look
let
like a bunny
me.
rabbit, not a
Ready?
nerd. Okay.
What's with the cup of milk?
This I love.
I'm gonna do the dishes.
I love this so
it's not a
much.
cup of milk. It was Elliot's stuff. It was like last in his cup last night, so I just dumped it in the sink, but it just went into a cup.
It's not a
So I
back
just have to
mop.
do the dishes.
And right, I have this too. Suspension.
There should be a clean cup for you to
And
drink out
then
of.
this one.
Cabinet.
And then
Yeah,
this
dishes
one.
are next on my list.
No suspension, but it's a PT Cruiser, and I love PT Cruiser convertibles, and that's what it is. I don't know what the heck this is. This is a power pipe, it's what it says. Has suspension. And then this thing. And if you look inside, when you let it roll, every component inside.
Look at this cute baby. That was Elliot when he was like 8 months old.
Wait, let me show them this again.
Here, bud.
No, don't show them that.
I
Here,
love
bud.
this one so much.
I can't.
I like that one too.
I literally can't.
He can't. Hold on.
Ready?
I was like,
Look.
why are you gonna give him that? He hasn't eaten his food yet. It's rocket fuel is what it is.
Okay, as I was
never
saying.
get him that shit.
Okay, as I was saying, when show them up, come
You're literally,
up
it's
here,
on,
guys.
it's on you, it's on
I want them
you.
to
Okay, hold
see
on. I'm
close.
zooming in. I'm zooming in. They can see better than you can.
Every component,
Hold on. Slow down. Slow. Move slow. So I can.
every component moves inside.
There you go. Don't move more than that. Go the other way. And oh, there. Those are this little area. Because I got you zoomed in, so it takes up the whole frame. There you go.
Not that.
Ooh, it's a
you
back 'em
burn
up
out?
too.
Oh, you can't. And then this one, this is also. Imagine if the person that had all these toys is in this. I have this exact
For
same
real, grass
thing.
under a microscope.
And
is
then
really
this. One clip. Two clip. Clip off. Set that there. Now it's a cool convertible. Me. Ow.
cool. The people, Kirsten, that are talking shit don't even live up to their own standards.
Wait, Mom, I want
These are people who are like freaking sitting there.
Where's Orly?
You know.
Where's Orly at?
Bad money.
Still doing it, Josh. What do I
Just
do?
look at it.
He's on the bed.
You could have already seen him.
I know.
What do I
I
do?
have no idea. I've never had it happen. I have no idea. What were you doing?
Oh, that
I mean, all I did was turn the
means there's
computer
a
on.
browser
That's it.
problem.
I just had the YouTube.
That means there's a browser
The
problem.
computer died.
While you were using it?
Yeah. I mean, no,
That
not
has
while I was
something to
using
do
it.
with
No, not while I was using it. It died sometime last night. I don't know. And then I came in here and turned it on. I plugged it in, and then it just started doing that.
That's your mouse.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, it's not letting me do anything at all.
I know. That's why I'm curious about it. What's the deal?
What?
I mean, I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I
No,
literally
it's just a thing to go around.
I didn't even get a chance to do anything yet because the damn thing died. And I tried that too. Can we turn it off and turn it on again, like with the button?
What happened to that?
Oh, we moved it so we could use the camera.
Oh, no.
I'll fix it. Don't worry. Don't
I
touch
had
it. Don't touch it.
purposely there to cover
I know
the
to cover
camera.
the camera. I know it still works. Trust me.
I'm gonna have to pull
Yeah,
it
but
out.
we use it for
Uh,
live
We
streams.
used it.
This
Yeah, we used the
computer.
camera.
Mom, come back here and look at this stuff. What? This lightest one. Now this one is a little bit heavier than this one. Is a little lighter. But then this one is a little bit heavier. They're about
That one's lighter than that one, I think.
this. Oh, this one's a little heavier. And this one's a little heavier than that. And this one's a little lighter than that.
The first one you gave me, this one is heavier.
Yeah. And ready? Now we go this one. This is heavier than all of them. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. This is the heaviest one.
Dude, why would you do that, buddy?
These
Come
are
on.
the three that.
He loves you.
Oh, he just came up and
Mom?
he's still beating
Because he
me.
wants you to kiss his face.
Mom,
He
you
wants
want
to kiss your face.
guess which
Come here.
cars?
Get out of there.
Guess which cars
Come here.
I got it for? Of course, you know already won.
Have you eaten your food, bud?
No.
Thank you, Daddy.
Well, you should eat it, bud, please. So it's not like just a waste of money.
Mom,
Bud,
Yes, my love.
start eating your food, please.
Baby.
Yeah, start eating your food, please. Right
guess which cars I like most?
I
No.
think you like the clear car the most.
now. Can you start eating, please?
Don't ignore your father, please. He's trying to talk to you.
But I'm trying to
Go ahead and eat your lunch so that you can move on. This is why I don't like to give him that sweet stuff, because he'll eat that, drink that, and then he won't eat.
Start eating.
Guess
I'm asking.
Dude, you
That
have
one right there.
huge
This is
knots
like
on your
that's your
back.
favorite one. All right, you start eating, please.
This
Thank you.
is one of my favorites.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Get in the car.
2.5 minutes after I started asking you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to ask my mom to guess my favorite.
She is trying to do something on the computer. In other words, you are being asked to do something. So it's not the important thing to ask. Figure out, guess which one of those is your favorite. Okay?
Oh, wee buddy. Oh, you
Do it
got a
when it's not-
hurdy. You
you're
got a
not being
boo-boo.
asked to do something.
You got a
You're
boo-boo
sitting
right
there
there.
ignoring what you're being asked to do. Just say, hey, oh, but I'm just trying to ask Mama. But ask it later.
I love my dog. Good boy. Okay, now that I've done this, the dog is going to expect
Thank you for getting this.
more.
You're welcome. I wish you would listen a little bit better. You didn't have to ask me to get that, right? I just went in. I knew you wanted it, so we went there and got it for you because you fill out. Just me being nice and doing something, you know, without having to be asked to do it. I don't like it. You could at least do things when you're asked to do it, please.
I'm just glad I grabbed that bike chair. The bike seat. No, it's all bad. This one has the most suspension. This one has the least suspension. This doesn't have that good suspension because when you do that, it doesn't like bounce. But this one, when you do the same thing,
Okay, I just finally put it on subscribers only mode. Now that the computer's finally working,
this is, doesn't have any scale and doesn't have any.
make the mod's life a little easier. I was like focused on my own shit and 100% not paying attention. Thanks, Blue Dress. He got it. He fixed it. I used to be very well versed in that in computers and used to be able to build them myself, but I haven't had a computer in probably close to 10 years, so I don't remember much. I've been using an iPhone for too long.
Mhm.
Are you gonna eat that nacho sauce? I'll take it if you don't.
I don't want it.
No, I meant your dad. I figured you wouldn't want it. You don't want it? Didn't you like it only last time?
That's that on that. I've been on here for 4 hours, 47 minutes, so I'm gonna just keep my conclusions short. But
Mom,
Yes, love.
Rip.
Jude, look how handsome he looks today. Go stand over by the door.
Oh, they're nice. Good. This chair back. Watch.
Go stand over there real quick. I want you to see your outfit. Be mindful of Dad's
Suspension.
computer stuff. Here, look. Look at this handsome gentleman.
Show them the car afterward.
His belt is obviously too small. We didn't know, and he refused to take it off after that, but very handsome. Do a bow. You're a gentleman. Stop playing with your belt. Bow.
I'm trying to take it off.
Bend. Bow. Give us a bow, sir. Thank you.
Bow.
Watch the dog.
Now show them this. Let me show you all the details first.
Yeah,
Mom.
I took college classes
Mom,
too.
I'm going to show you all the details so then you can show them.
Computer classes. And I went to Job Corps, and while I was in Job Corps, I did PC repair, like soldering, and
Here, now show them.
A+ and Net+, maybe? And some DOS. So I actually used to know some stuff, but I don't anymore. It
This thing has suspension. No, I mean, like, if you drop it.
Yeah, it's gonna like bounce. Like, yeah, that's hard plastic bouncing, baby.
Let me show you.
The wheels are hard plastic. That's why.
Look, this. That doesn't
It's because the car itself is lighter. He looks so handsome.
Okay, let me show you between these two. Watch. Watch.
Un momento, por favor.
This is what suspension looks like. And this is, look, ready? This is lighter.
Hey, baby, please don't start. Baby, will you get the comb and brush it early for a little while for me, please?
It's heavy.
Please.
Actually, this is lighter.
Will you help me out with the dog?
And it has this.
Well, if he's just gonna stand here and just drop cars on your desk, you can help me with the dogs. Go eat that, like Daddy said, actually. Nice try. Go eat.
Right now,
You got that soda drink thing, and now you need to eat the proteins immediately, dude. Seriously, go eat like 4 bites of that burrito. You don't have to eat. I don't want you to eat the whole thing. I want it. So only take
I
4.
love this car. This is one of the. This is the
This
reason
is
I
how much
wanted
of the
to get it.
burrito. I want you to eat this much of the burrito, like a solid inch. He's so handsome, isn't he? Huh?
They had to charge me for that.
If it's not on your receipt, you didn't get charged.
It was like $9.
Look at your receipt. Dude, Taco Bell's expensive. You got a drink. That drink is $4. Yes. It's $3.82 or something like that. Yeah. That's why I don't buy them. Look on the receipt. Don't you have the paper receipt? They have to give you a paper receipt or you get your food for free. Isn't that how it used to work? My dog just like wants to hold hands apparently. He has an obsession with cars. Yes, he does. It's very cute. Oh, thank you, Archangel. And I second that. I am rubber and you are glue. What you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Right? And also, like, if I just don't want to deal with, like, bad commenting, I just don't have to look at the screen, or I can just turn it off. So nice. Oh, that feels good though, huh? He doesn't like his feet touched, but I just found the way he does like his feet touched. He likes that underside touched between his dew claw and his little extra little nubbin, this like area here on the underside of his footsies. Give him a little massage. Oh, that's my boy. Ooh, spread those toes. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Sorry, I'm not even like showing the dog. I'm like looking at him in real life. Yep, I'm gonna be going back probably tomorrow. My neighbors, I have two different neighbors who are like going to my house. I'm really not worried about my cat because like she's got all she needs, and she like goes over to the neighbor's house anyway and like hangs out with them. So I'm really not worried about her. She's the one I worry about the least. I am worried about her getting like bit by a rattlesnake, but I will say that she's already been living a wild life. She already knows about them. So, you know, she may be curious and explore a little bit, but she's not. Obviously, she's lived this long. She's doing good.
Watch through the other side. The seats pulled up. The seats are up. The seats are down. Seats are up. Seats are down. You try. Reach your finger in there and watch them fold up. Can you see it?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I never knew that until I just reached my finger in there.
That's crazy. So this is like a real Rolls Royce or something?
I don't know what the heck this is.
It's a London taxi.
Yeah, it's a London taxi, obviously.
Oh, that's crazy. I can't believe
Even
that.
says taxi right there.
It took a minute for the information to process in my
Look at
brain.
it.
What
It
they're
even
saying.
says taxi.
I was thinking about that rattlesnake for some reason. It's like totally lost in thought about that rattlesnake.
Show them. Show them.
Show them.
Can you guys see?
The seat in there literally lifts up. That's crazy.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, let me show you all the details on the other ones. This is a convertible PT. And whatever this is, and this swap plan. And ready?
What, did I stop? Sorry, I'm scrolling on the screen right now. You want me to keep going? Lay down. Okay, lay down. This is literally picking my hand up. Oh, did you hear a rapper? Love or food? I just don't know what to pick. Life is so hard for me. And a little go. Yeah, he does have probably some food, but that doesn't mean you can have it. No, you can't have it soon. Isn't he the cutest? Like, you can't lay down because he cannot have Elliot's food. He's gonna go act like a typical baby. Oh shit!
What?
I worked out 2 of my knees, hard pain. While you were gone, I did things. Did you guys see my toenail? About what happened with my toenail? Look at that beast. Looking good, looking good. You can see where it like got totally like just annihilated and chipped. It's pretty fun. This toenail is going to be doing the same thing shortly because it's cracked down the middle right now. Because every time one of these heals, the other toe gets broken. It's happened for 5 years straight, literally. It's very frustrating. Since like, yeah.
This car is made
by 3 years straight.
This car is made by the company Fiva.
Fiva.
I'm gonna go look up what that company is.
But guy in a little coat. Lola. Yes, Daddy.
Orly.
What?
Orly, he was trying to eat your burrito.
Oh.
No, he's killing Puppy.
What?
He's laying on top of
Leave
Puppy.
him be. Get my wheels turning here.
Okay. Save him. Good gracious.
Whoa, buddy. Buddy Brown.
Mom, mind if I go on prom and look up?
Could you move yourself to a
Look
different
up
location?
the
Go
TV?
up. Okay.
I don't wanna. I wanna
but
make
you're
sure
gonna do
Orly doesn't get up and try and go eat your burrito.
That's your burrito right now.
It's your burrito.
Elliot, stop, baby. This is really hard. Please don't mess with me like that. It's not nice. I love you.
Orly is so fluffy. Now I'm gonna go look up the company Fiva.
What's hard? Josh, maybe in the next place there'll be fucking door frames that we can put the thing in. Alright, well, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make myself some lunch, eat this burrito, probably take my afternoon nap, and stuff like that. I just said I was gonna basically work out to myself while that congressional hearing was on, so thank you so much, Archangel. That's really sweet.
This is 1/43rd scale.
Look how cute they are together.
Oh my!
He loves Elliot so much. Elliot, that dog loves you so much. Look at him.
No.
Just loves him to death. What a good boy. See, the video that I made the other day, while I'm thinking about this really
This is 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's 98 years old.
Whoa, cool. So, like, about the video that I made, there's like a short I made or something, in regards to how, like, people today, like, think that they can just, like, change whatever the situation is, whoever they are, they can just change who they are instead of, like, embracing and growing to love who they are and where they came from, or, like, respecting it at the very least and being grateful for it so that they can, like, come to terms with life that is reality. Hold on one second. Oh, and then it's like, I had this epiphany the other day because I was like, oh, you know, Orly, you have to come inside. Like, you don't have a choice. You're a dog. And I realized, I was like, oh, you know, it's kind of like the sense that, like, a dog literally just goes along with the life that they're given. You know what I mean? Like, they don't, like, decide they hate their owner and then just, like, try to, like, call the fucking, you know, the pound and, like, get out of there and stuff like that. They just are like, okay, well, this is my owner and I love them so much, even though maybe, it, you know, even if it's an abusive situation, they still love their owner and they still go along with the life. If they're a dog that's bred or born into, like, a working situation, like if it's a working dog, they don't, like, get tired and just lazy and just lay there and, like, I'm not doing work. No, the minute their owner says, like, go and do stuff, they go and jump up and they're all excited to go do the thing. They accept the life that they've been given and they are happy. They find the way to be happy in the little scenario that they've been placed in. by birth, you know what I mean? And I think that we can learn a lot from just like finding that just contentment, respect, and gratitude for like who we actually are, where we actually came from, the body we were given, the mind that we have. And while we can always aspire to be our best self and do the best that we can possibly do, or achieve, you know, a different way of life, still, why would you leave it wide open sitting on the edge of a table like that? That just doesn't even make sense. But anyway, so I think you can learn a lot from that, and like we should aspire for greatness. We should aspire to help the world be its best self, and if that means that, like, you know, getting ourselves out of a bad situation and whatever, we should do that. But we should still always hold gratitude and respect for where we actually came from, no matter where we end up or what life, you know, what ride we end up on. But anyway, dogs are unconditional everything.
Someone's selling one of these for $25.
Oh, really?
Online.
It's probably, yeah, but it's in great shape, brand new. This one's kind of like kidified.
It's a little bit worse than this one, and he's selling it for $25. Another person's selling it for $14, and it looks better than this.
Oh.
So something is wrong with people. I think their prices should have swapped.
Mm-hmm. I love you so much. You look so handsome. I wish we had a better. We're gonna have to give you a better belt.
I think this.
And I'm gonna have to upgrade your vest.
This is
It's
amazing.
getting too small.
By the way, I'm so happy.
You've grown too much in the last month. We can't keep up.
My dad got this for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since my
Tooth fell out.
Let's show everybody that this can.
Ew, yeah, that's gotta hurt.
No, it actually feels comfy.
No, Rumpelstiltskin, my bus is still at home.
Rumpelstiltskin, I just lost my tooth.
Alright, let's turn off. I want to take a nap. He's quite dapper, right? He looks like a handsome gentleman. Alright, y'all. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go eat and relax and then get Elliot doing some schoolwork. I'll come back later this afternoon. I love you guys. I love you, Terry.